Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegram.news.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegram.news.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegram.news.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegram.news.com.
Check it out.
Well, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the Football Friday Night Playoff edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And we have a dip. We don't have the dips. We just have dip.
Da-does.
I think.
Da-does.
No, we just have the da-does. We're missing the ip
He might
part.
sneak in, and you might get the whole group.
Yeah, we've got
see.
the da-das today.
Yeah.
And the voice of the Vikings, Bob Grillo.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Do we have to call you Judge, or can we call you?
No, I prefer not to be called
He's
that.
like,
I get
no,
called a lot of names. Bob's fine today.
Most are deserving.
Yeah.
Very good. Good morning, Marlon. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. And we're going to talk about some playoff action. And, the Jackson Ironmen playing tonight, as well as the Benton County Vikings headed up to Columbus
East.
Yes, that's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about football today. And then I think toward the end of the program, our good friend Ben Davis Jr. is here. I think he's in the building as we speak, and maybe talk a little bit about Homegrown Happy Hour. So some really neat things going on today.
Pretty good show if you can get through this crew on there.
You got it. You got it. So welcome, guys. What's going on?
Well, it is Football Friday night. You said it all.
It is.
In Jackson County and Benton County, that's a big to-do. I mean, I would think there's a lot of fans very excited. As we said, I think we mentioned a minute ago, it's the third season. You have your preseason and your non-league games to start the football season. Coach Hall with Jackson, that's our first 5 games, and he really tries to beef those up, play very good competition. We did this year, got through that with a 3-2 record, and kind of just didn't know where this team was standing. Then we start the second season, the Frontier Athletic Conference, and we had a great 5-game run through there. Won all 5 games, including last Friday night's big win up at Chillicothe, which was huge. Won the Frontier Athletic Conference, won a league championship, and now we start the third season. And we hope it's not just a one and done. But it is one and done. If you don't win, you are done right now. But the Ironmen are playing here at Alumni Stadium. They earned a home game this week.
That's pretty cool.
We've got Miami Trace coming back to Jackson this Friday night. And we feel very blessed that we are going to be in Jackson, and the judge / voice of the Vikings, he gets to travel to Columbus. But we have done that before many times, Danny and I have, and Pete, and made those trips. But and they're exciting because playoff football is just truly another level from the regular season.
It is.
And it's just going to be a fun Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you thinking about Benton County this year?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say wish Jackson the best. I have 2 nephews that play in the team.
You do? That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I actually got to watch them last week because we didn't do the Wellston game. The Wellston crew did it, and I wish them the best. I think they have an excellent chance to go a long way. With the Vikings, we're real excited about it. This is only our 5th playoff appearance in our school's history, but we've done it 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Travis Bethel did it 1 year, and then he was followed by Coach Carper for 2 years. And Coach Carper, if you've ever met him, might be the most fired-up guy you could ever imagine. I coach girls basketball up there, too, and when he's practicing, we're doing conditioning, run around the track, and by the time you get to hear him talk, you want to go out there and hit somebody. He's just a great guy. And when you interview him after a loss, you can never tell if you really won or lost because he's the same. He's just fired up. But Vinton's real excited. This is our 3rd playoff trip in a row. And we finished the year 6-4, getting runner-up in the TVC for the second year in a row. Nelsonville lost a heartbreaker. And we travel to Columbus East tonight. And it's always exciting playoff sports. And like I was telling them in the radio broadcast, I was part of the coaching staff for the Vinton County Lady Vikings 2 years ago. And I don't know if there's ever been a better experience that I've had in my life than going up there. You just can't. It's almost like it's surreal. You can't believe it happened 2 years later even. And I wish Jackson the best with that. And I think with your team, you have an excellent chance. Coach Carper, I think he'll have a good chance. I think we had a good draw getting Columbus East because a couple of things would have happened. We would have either met Steubenville or St. Clairsville, which might not have been as good. But so I think we have a good chance tonight.
And it's never fun to have to play on the road. I mean, it just is what it is. But, good news is Columbus isn't too far, easy to get to. Right. I don't know that I'd rather drive to Columbus. It's a lot better than heading down 93 to Ironton, or somewhere like that. What was it you guys that was saying it's like almost like a team disadvantage, like whoever has to go to Ironton, it's like whichever team has to drive down 93, it's a disadvantage.
Well, of that too. Give that to Ironton. It is no fun playing in Tank Stadium and
just
the
in Ironton
in itself.
But the road certainly doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
We had to play at Tri-Valley this year, and there is no easy way to get there. It was almost 3-hour drive.
That was Dresden.
We were
that
actually
was
on gravel roads, believe it or not. The GPS, that's the way they took us.
Well, for the shortest trip is horrible. Now, we decided coming home, we're just going to find Route 70, head to Columbus, and could take the long way home.
Because it's easier.
Oh, my gosh, that's a tough road trip on there. And that's what happens a little bit. We fight that a little bit because we're in a 6-team league. So that means our last 5 games are league games. That's set. You get that every year. But you've got to find 5 games to start the league. And it's pretty easy to find the first 3 weeks because leagues are normally 7, 8, 10 teams, whatever.
Sure.
Those weeks 4 and 5 are a bear to find. And so we have to shuffle around. And we've played Western Brown, which has been a great series for us. They're 90 miles one direction.
Yes.
Dresden was the nightmare drive this year. You get some of those.
But
and so
on the other side of that, Jackson is in Division III, and it's Division III, Region 11. And we are geographically the southernmost school in Region 11.
Okay.
And so by virtue of being one of the top 4 seeds, we get 2 home games. So that, if we win, you have to win tonight, but then we guaranteed another home game. So that on that side actually helps us a little bit.
Oh, it's great.
It would. Everybody's having to travel.
16 teams make the playoff in every region. We're the number 2 seed. We're going to play the number 15 seed, who just happened to be Miami Trace, who we had played just last. It was Apple Bowl, September 23rd.
Yes. Yep.
And we did come away with a win on that one, but they played us very close. They were in the game in the fourth quarter, and they have played teams well this year. But the deceiving thing is they are a 4-6 record, and people tend to think, well, they're going to be a piece of cake.
Oh.
That should be no trouble. Well, it was 35-28 early in the fourth quarter against them, and we scored 2 touchdowns late to pull away. They lose by less than a touchdown, one in overtime, to the other 2 best teams in our league, which was Washington Courthouse and Chillicothe. They come to play, and they have not quit this year. So it's a game our 18 seniors have to be seniors tonight and get them pumped up and ready to go, because those guys do not want this to be their last performance. And we've got a real group. That's a large group of seniors on this football team.
Big group.
They had senior tackle Wednesday night. That went on, and it was in the mist and the rain and everything, but there was a huge crowd up there on the hill for that. And those 18 seniors all paid a little homage to them there. And then last night it was really neat. The captains of the football team came down to our Pee Wee football. And just a little plug for local football.
Love that.
Our 2 Pee Wee teams in the 5th and 6th grade, the red team and the white team, are playing in the semifinals of their playoffs against each other here at Jackson at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. And our seniors, and they were Jacob Winters, Brody Butcher, Trent Evans, and Nate O'Brien. The 4 seniors came down and addressed both teams. Both teams came over together, try to cut that rivalry down a little bit because
Sure.
you're playing, you are
That happens
Jackson
a lot
guys.
where Jackson White and Red plays.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It
It does.
does. And they all cuddled up together, and those kids talked to them for a little bit, and then every one of them lined up and shook their hand and everything.
Aw.
Great moment for not only fifth and sixth graders, but for those 4 seniors too. Those are
Love
things they'll
that.
remember in there. So that's kind of a neat story. We got some awful good kids on this team. It's one reason they're successful. We got good
Sure.
people. You win with good people. I think Mr. Woody Hayes said that years ago. And we have found that is true with Jackson. When you have really good kids, you tend to be successful.
Absolutely. And so, headed over to Vinton County, you are coming up with a new coach this year. So
Well, this is his second
year?
Coach Carper,
Okay.
yeah.
So how has that, does that affect the kids? Is it hard to transition with coaching staff?
I think Coach Bethel and him were a lot alike. They both played college football.
Okay.
And Coach Carper played at Marshall, where he was captain of the team. And he is just, as Coach Bethel, he does a lot of things with the community. They do stuff
He
with Habitat for
does.
Humanity. He had a comedian come in last night. He's everywhere. And he just, I think our team went to the Super Bowl of their league, which they won. And our team went over there. He went over there. And he's very involved with everything. And I don't think so with him, because I think he's a guy that could go anywhere and fit in, and just you want to run through a wall for him. He's that kind of guy. I want to run through a wall for him. I'm 66 years old. I'm not sure the wall. I would get hurt.
Pretty thin
I would
wall.
get hurt. Yeah, but he.
Hopefully just drywall, no studs.
I think we had a grand slam when he was hired by Vinton County.
Yeah. Great news is local ties to the area, so hopefully keep him around for quite some time, as Coach Hall
the other
as
side
well.
of it, Coach Hall now in his 14th season coaching 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Do they know anybody else? They've never known another head coach in Jackson.
So we've got two different things going on here.
You know, and I think he's been there 14 years. He's won 5 SEOAL championships. He's now won his 4th Frontier Athletic Conference championship. He's won 115 games, I think 37 losses. You know, he's just had a great run.
And he's about 75 games wins above the next closest, isn't he?
Jim Reynolds was 63.
63.
So
Okay.
About 55 or so.
Wow.
I mean, and so he has done things nobody's ever done before with Jackson football.
Sure.
Little things that we talk about. We addressed the team a couple weeks ago. Danny, Pete, and I did. And a couple of things we mentioned to him. We have never won a district championship. That means you've got the 16 teams in this region, in this bracket. We've never been the top team to come out of that and go into the Final Four of the state.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
We've
explain
been to the district championship.
What are the different tiers of that?
There's 16, so you think if you look at a bracket, 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, all the way through. So if we can win this week, we will play the winner of the 7-10 matchup.
Okay.
Which happens to be
there it is, Greenville.
Yeah, it's going to be Granville and Bellefontaine.
Oh.
And if we win, we'll get to host them, either one of those coming our way. So we'll hope there. And then after that, we're going to play, we're going to be, as the number 2 seed, we're going to have to play the number 3 seed, which is Bishop Watterson, if they win out.
Okay.
Accordingly. And then the number 1 seed was Sheridan. That's who we would maybe have to play seed-wise in the brackets. But that's 4 games away. We got to win
this one first.
Win this one first on there. But it is pretty exciting. And it can take the whole month of November. Championship won't be won until I think it's December 4th or 5th or something.
Holy moly.
That is a long time to be playing high school football. We've never got that luxury.
Right.
But we mentioned it to the team. We'd love to broadcast a district championship game in our career. We've been around for a long time.
So that would be the game past this one, right?
Yeah. No, two
past this one. Okay.
And Jackson has never won 12 games in a season. I think we've had 5 teams win 11 times. And think about it, that's not easy to do.
No.
We were 8-2 this season, but a district championship would get us to that kind of goal too. So this team, there's a lot on the line and those kind of things. But once again, as we just said, you can't get any of those kind of things done unless you win tonight. So you got to take them one at a time and everything. But this team has a lot of, as Bob said after seeing us, we will compete with good people. I'm not going to say we're the best here, there, or that. There's some good teams out there, but we've got a chance. this year.
Very
It's a
good.
pretty exciting. I think we were here in the preseason.
Yeah.
Talking, and we were saying that this team has potential, and they've played up to it. They've played good people. The 2 losses are heartbreaking losses.
Well, I was going to say that
we are close
they're
to 10-0.
a bit deceiving because you played some. Coach Hall, as you said, does not pick pansy teams to start the season with, and a lot of people do, and so the record is a bit deceiving.
Right.
If you look at it,
Yeah, we were game 2. Played Ironton at home, and we were up 26-14 at halftime.
Yes.
Second half, we get the kickoff, but we fumble it, and then it spiraled downhill from it. We end up losing by 3.
Yeah.
The following week, we make that long drive. We already talked about it.
Yes.
To Tri-Valley, and I think we had that the Ironton hangover, and therefore, we got up there and got beat 14-13 by 1. 2 losses by 4 total of 4 points.
Right. Yeah. So it is a bit deceiving there. So I heard a little birdie, pun intended, told me that you all were members of the Pete Wilson's parakeet team at one time or another.
Yes, we were. We all grew up together and take the Fifth Amendment on a lot of things that we might or might not have done. But we were all members of the Parkview Parakeets with Pete Wilson, a tremendous.
Well, we were
softball team.
I was Turner's Tramps.
Yeah.
I was never a
You
parent.
were a
I
tramp.
switched. I was
We
a
were the
free
old
agent.
tramp.
I
You were a
switched.
free agent,
I
yeah.
switched from the Turner's Tramps over to the Parakeets.
Good
So-
fielding, weak hitting, center fielder at times, but
If you don't know what we're talking about, way back in Jackson history, there was gang rivalry
it was
within the neighborhoods.
yes.
And there were actual, think about the Sandlot, but actually really happening. And it was
thing
a
of the
baseball
past,
thing.
Kids
Neighborhood.
playing in neighborhoods and destroying everybody's yards, but everybody
Oh my God.
allowing them to be everywhere. We just hung out.
I mean,
And-
even when I was growing up, we did that.
Yes.
I had to survive all the boys in the neighborhood, but it's why I'm as obnoxious as I am today.
There were
But
some obnoxious boys around that.
there were.
neighborhood,
I had to
yes.
survive. But I can remember. So when I was growing up around at our house, we had these a fence around a pool, and it had these big globes. Do you remember those?
Mhm.
Glass globes. Forever, I felt like every day one of those things got broken by something, and I would have to go in and tell the parents.
Yes.
Somebody kicked it with a ball or threw a ball or whatever. Yeah,
Well,
destroy the neighborhood. But
Judge would have loved the effort on Pete Wilson's 50th honoree day.
so yes,
When we actually coerced him into singing
We
the fight
did.
song.
That probably
We-
wasn't too hard, was it?
it was the alma mater, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the alma mater.
There was
Yes, there is a fight
weren't there
song. and the alma
two?
There
There
mater.
was two. Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
sang, and we all had to stand up and I mean,
No,
this
it-
was official stuff.
Kind of brought a tear to the eye.
It did.
It did. And,
So Pete Wilson has sung 2 things here on this program. One of them was Oklahoma. One of them was
Easy.
Oklahoma, and the
Careful.
second one was the Parakeet alma
oh,
mater.
his Oklahoma version is, it makes
It's-
Gordon McRae kind of
it's-
cringe. And,
I mean, he's missed his calling on
It's the
Broadway,
best,
as far as
yes.
I'm
He also
concerned.
sings
but-
a mean Tenderflip Donut song.
he can.
Does he? I didn't know that one.
And Dobby. Dobby
Yeah,
can also
they
sing.
They duo those on there.
You guys, oh
I
my
plead the
gosh.
fifth.
Oh, we should get back to football.
So we should probably get back to
Yes.
football, but we did want to explain why we were talking about the parakeets and whatnot. So, heading up to Columbus today, let's talk about this game.
You got to get there early because there's very little parking. There's a little elementary school with about 40 spots. There's a place across the road, then you're on the street to park. So you got to get there early.
My.
And we're playing the game at Chick Harley Field, and Columbus East has two very famous graduates. Chick Harley, one of Ohio State's greatest players who played in that field in 1910, an All-American Ohio State. They named the field after him. Then they also have Bill Willis, who played at Ohio State, played for the Cleveland Browns, All-Pros with Marion Motley. That was when the Browns were good, and they won world championships. In fact,
When was that again?
it was
How many
quite a
years
while
ago was that?
I think it was maybe before my birth.
1956.
Right.
But anyway, so they've had a good tradition. They have 3 outstanding players. They have a sophomore, Tazan Burns, who is a suburb running back and defensive back, leads a team with 25 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns.
Oh,
They only
my.
played 9 games. And then
Good grief.
32 receiving yards to lead them there. He rushes for 124 yards a game. Spent last year at Independence, transferred in. He was a defensive back, but he's one of the best players in the state. They have a quarterback who's a 4-year starter in Trey Lindsey, and he has 661 yards rushing and 9 TDs. And they have a big-time defensive player, Coach Carper tells me, named C.J. Swanson, who's 6'4", 246 pounds, who's everywhere. So, we're going to have our hands full. They're going to be probably a lot quicker than us. We're pretty big, though, so we'll see. We've had an interesting season, too, because we easily could be, I think, 9-1, 10-0. We lost one to Nelsonville by 1. Lost early in the year to Union where we had some chances. Lost one to Rock Hill, which Rock Hill just closed time of possession. We could easily be 9-1. We've also had, Coach Carper never used this as injuries as an excuse. We've had a lot of key injuries, but we've stepped up. We lost our quarterback, who's, in my opinion, the best player in our league, and Zeke Mullahan, who had, I think, 16 touchdowns by the time he went down in Game 6 against Warren.
I was going to say, my thoughts are, and this is a tribute to your coaching staff, you were a little bit slow coming out of the gates. Yeah. You then picked up momentum. You then lose your quarterback, and there was no quick. Yeah. In week 9, you're playing for a league championship. Right. It's pretty special.
Yeah. We had a kid named Parker Schonborn who was playing linebacker. Who's our backup quarterback, came in. His uncle actually coached at Jackson baseball, Lance Ralston, who played outfield for the Buckeyes.
Yep.
And Parker's really stepped up. He'll be our quarterback this year, the rest of the year, and next year. He's played well. We also lost a running back named Bryant Brisker. But we've had a couple kids, as Dan said. We started out, so we had a bunch of new kids come in. And a young man named Garrett Brown, who will tell you, he calls himself a basketball player first, but he's rushed for over 1,000 yards and set our single game record.
Holy moly.
To show you what a good coach Coach Carper is, I coached Garrett when he was in youth sports, but I didn't see it. I played him at center, and Coach Carper moved him to running back. So I might be the worst coach in America. And Coach Carper, his dad laughed. He sent me a little text when I was broadcasting. I said that in the radio one day. He said, he was a center then, but now he's a running back.
Garrett Brown's also going to make first-year basketball coach Jake Hyde a better coach this year, too. He's a very good basketball player, good athlete.
I think he was the second leading scorer in our league last year behind D'Agostino, and I was as a sophomore, so he's pretty good.
Pretty exciting player.
And we have another we lost another player for this week, a kid who I think should be an All-Ohio player, and that's Matt Hembry. He has a punctured lung, so he won't be playing. But we have a senior. He played the Nelsonville game, I think, with that. Then we have a senior named Dawson Brown who plays on the defensive side who's come over. We've had a young man named Lane Hayburn, a sophomore as well, who's running the ball well. He's got almost 700 yards. So we got a lot of we have some great seniors, as Dan talked about your team. We have a ton of kids coming back next year as well, so we should be pretty good. And I think as Coach Carper's system gets implemented, they're just going to continue to do nothing but win.
I would have to think, how do you overcome this injury situation, especially, losing your quarterback? I mean, that has to be a testament to the heart of the kids, but also the coaching staff of being able to, change and pivot on the fly.
Right. We've done a good job of that. Kids, it's always what they say, next man up. And our next man up stepped in and done the job. And our offensive coordinator, Marcus Games, has just done a great job just plugging guys in when you have injuries. Marcus played as a defensive and offensive lineman at Ohio University. And our defense is, I think, our strength. We have Coach Carper, of course, was a defensive back at Marshall, so our defensive backs are solid. And
I wonder if these Columbus kids have met, a Southern Ohio team before that'll just knock the tar out of you.
No, their schedule, they played mostly city schools from Columbus, and I think they played Toledo Scott.
One thing being fast, there's another thing, mean these kids from down here that are big and mean.
Our kids they have a mentality. And it starts early. It's a system that is in place right now. And, they want to hit. You want to be aggressive. Most of the time, we don't outrun everybody. Most of the time, we're a little unique right now because of Jacob Winters. He's our quarterback, very special young man. OU has given him a full ride scholarship to come there and play football. They're going to pay for his education to come and do that. Division I scholarship offers don't fall out of trees.
No, they do not.
Very unique to come by, and he gives us opportunities to do some things that you a lot of times wouldn't be able to do on a high school level. So he's special. His nephew Cade finds a nose for the end zone. He runs away from people. He has the speed to run away from people and the quickness. I think he gets that from his mother, don't you?
Yeah.
I know. I think his dad had bobblehead day here. So
Yeah, I was going to say.
He had some talent.
I mean, it's just all around.
It is, and he's very special. And so many hard-nosed kids that have just gotten better as the year goes. We got a senior offensive line, and I mean a senior from tackle to tackle. Everybody's a senior, so we lose a lot of people there. But somehow we'll refill that next year. But
of course,
that's a group that has gotten better as the year went on. And right now they're playing at their very best level they've played at. They give us options. I mean, last week against a very talented Chillicothe team, Coach Hall decides at one point they're really getting in after Jacob. We weren't having much success throwing the football. We just lined up in 2 tight ends and ran at, and you watched it, we ran at Chillicothe and just controlled time of possession, controlled first downs. We kept the ball in our hands and finally grinded out a couple fourth quarter touchdowns on long drives. We ate up the whole fourth quarter holding the ball and come away with a 21-7 win. So we have multiple ways to win. We've thrown for over 300 yards. We've rushed for over 300 yards in different games. So that's been kind of the unique thing about this team is they have balance. We are not just a throwing team. We are not just a running team. We can beat you both ways. You can try to stop one, but it's hard to stop both. And hopefully teams will find it's going to be hard for them to stop both running and passing. And I was interrupting you.
No, I was going to say exactly what you did. Coach Hall, in the I think it was the second quarter, he just decided to button the chin straps and he went to the full house formation, and that's what they did. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the game, he said in the post-game interview that he thought Jackson had wore them down in the fourth quarter, and we were able to put 2 scores on the board.
And it could be that they weren't expecting that, and you never know when somebody throws something at you you're not planning for. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look, we've thrown for over 1,800 yards this year, which is a high total for Jackson, right at just a little under 200 yards per game. So that's not typical Jackson football. We run for 300 yards, throw for 100 if we're lucky. But we've kind of balanced it out where we're throwing for over 200. We're running them for over 200 at times. And the balance has been the secret of this team, plus the fact our defense has gotten better. Our defense has gotten better. We're a little faster to the ball. We're not a big team, physically big, but we are certainly a team that is pretty quick to the ball and a lot of hustlers, a lot of defenders. Within the league, what I figure up, in our 5 games within the league, we've averaged outscoring our opponents 49-14.
Wow.
So that's, and it was supposed to be the best Frontier Athletic Conference league we've seen since we've been there in 6 years. Because Courthouse was a good team and Chillicothe was a good team and Trace is obviously a good team, but we have gotten a little bit better with our tough 5 preseason games, and we handled the league this year. So that doesn't mean gives you any other wins coming after that.
No, it does not.
But we have the capability.
And again, one win at a time, right?
One win at a time.
And I worry about that. I worry about that for our local teams. I worry about that with the Buckeyes. You keep killing everybody, and then the next thing you know, you lose to Maryland or somebody like that, and you're like, oh, whoops.
Well,
they got a little dose of that last week when they figured out they could not run the ball.
Yes.
66 yards of offense, so they had to plan number 2, and so they opened it up in the second half.
That's exactly right.
They
got their stuff together
tomorrow.
Yeah,
for sure.
I thought Coach Hall made a great adjustment. Again, I was sitting with my son, and I said, you don't see the full house unless it's a team I coach. You mentioned him more of the wishbone, and he did a great job with that. I thought Winters put him on his back and a couple third-yard carries. Cade, Browerman, I thought they did good. With our team, our defense is our key. Rich Mendez, who played at Urbana as our defensive coordinator, plays a lot of kids, rotates his defensive linemen. About 7 of them play.
Wow.
And it'll be tough for us tonight, but I think we have a good chance. We like our draw, and they're going to be a good team, and hopefully we can pull it out. We don't throw much, although Parker Schonborn came in. I think he was 10 for 15, which is probably, we don't throw the ball 15 times usually, but he's got a good arm. He's a baseball guy, and he can play. So we'll see what happens. We also have a tight end who has got one Division I scholarship. He's 6'5" and about 260, 4-point student in Ashton Allman. He's got one from, I believe, the Campbell Camels.
Really?
Yeah, Division I. They're a newer Division I school, I believe, in North Carolina. So, and he's another kid. It's good size frame, and I think he's going to get some more. And we'll see how that works out for him.
We mentioned our Division I, scholarship there, and Trent Evans also got an offer just recently from Moorhead University.
I saw that.
Which is pretty exciting.
And I think
It's good
Jackson
stuff.
has done an outstanding job sending their kids to the next level with, you had a kid go to Stanford and Williams, and he transferred to Rice. I mean, you can't get a better education than going to Stanford for 4
And then
years.
to Rice.
And then Rice, yeah.
And then Rice, right, exactly.
And, Winter's going to Ohio University. And
well, you have Grant Maston
Grant
out
Maston at Texas.
Trevor Davis right now
Trailing
playing
at
at West Virginia.
I mean, you're doing a good job sending them to the next level. And that's coaches like that care about their programs, because then a kid goes, not only helps the kid, but helps the rest of the kids get looked at. And Coach Carper takes his kids everywhere for what do you call those things? Showcases and things like that. So he takes kids all over the place. So he understands what you got to do.
Good stuff. Well, we've also talked about, when you play the Columbus City League, and I hate to say this, but they don't have the same, we were just talking about neighborhoods and communities. They don't have the same community feel.
Sure.
I wish they would, but they just don't.
It's just,
Columbus South
it is what it is.
Came to Jackson last year, and you pull up and you see our stadium. And you see a lot of college stadiums are not as nice as our stadium.
Correct.
We're so lucky here to have that. But they have to be a little amazed. And their coach
where am I
says,
going down to Hillbillyville? And then you pull in and you're like,
and
whoa.
Equipment-wise, our kids have the best equipment and the best of everything on there. And we have a tradition where we like to run through the helmet and the smoke coming out. And that's how the team comes on the field. Well, in playoff time, you can't do that unless you provide that for the other team. So Coach Hall has gone down and got the church league that does flag football.
Oh,
they've got to blow up so they can have that for the opposing team can run through it, so we can do our helmet thing tonight.
Cool.
So little things like that. But the tradition we have and we've built, and so lucky to be around it. It's an event. And I would like to see a huge crowd tonight come out and, support this team, because week 11, it's the end of October. It's Halloween weekend. We don't want strange things to happen.
No, we do not.
But it's a perfect night to watch football on there. And matter of fact,
weather's going to be gorgeous.
I want to give a shout out to our girls soccer team before we get away.
Absolutely.
They got defeated last night, but had a fabulous season. They're playing in a district championship, and they got beat by Marietta 3-0 last night, but it was 1-0 late in the game. They were just having a shootout, and they had a special season, that group of girls soccer players, and that was really a lot of fun for them. And
they did. Marietta's tough.
They're tough, and they thought they had a chance in that when they could have moved on and been in a regional, which that's a first, but they came up just a touch short.
Talking about how many road games have we had this year when you talk about the fan support and lack thereof?
Well,
I mean, when we went to Chillicothe last week, Jackson had more fans than
I was going to say, listening audience, we don't want to offend Chillicothe people. Yeah. Their stands are bigger, so they're spread out a little more. We were packed in like sardines on our side, so we really support. Jackson travels. They just travel. They love their football here. Everybody loves teams that are successful, but year in and year out, they follow and they support, and they financially support our program, which is a very big thing. And speaking of that, and I'm going to get this plug in here, because we are eventually here going to get to basketball season, which is near and dear to my heart. My son is a head basketball coach here. Things around the corner. The basketball raffle bash is coming up 2 weeks from Sunday.
Okay.
And the basketball players are going to sell 300 tickets. They're $100 a piece. This is the major fund winner for both girls and boys basketball. Coach Matt Walburn, Coach Max Morrow, and all their players sell these. Kids are responsible for selling 2 of those tickets, but what do they get out of that? They get their team shoes. They don't pay to play here. That's been a plus. Some schools you have to pay to play, but you're going to get your team shoes, your warm-ups, all kinds of things there that they get to keep. But it's very important, this moneymaker, and it's a fun thing, and you can win $5,000.
Okay.
And matter of fact, when they draw 300 tickets, if you're the first ticket out, which is somebody's got to be the first ticket they draw out of the bin, you get a free ticket for the next year. So that's worth $100. So there's prizes, there's gifts that the community have given throughout certain numbers of the tickets and all. So find a basketball player, buy a ticket from him. They need to sell those. If you would be willing to buy one, if you want to contact Coach Max Morrow, Coach Matt Walburn, contact myself. We will find you a ticket to that, but it is a huge thing. And hopefully we're still playing football games when they have that in 2 weeks. That's the plan, but that is just a little plug for Jackson basketball right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny. You go straight from football right in. There's no
it's kind of intertwined.
No break.
Here for the month of November, it's intertwined.
Absolutely. And I don't know how these kids do both.
Yeah,
that's a big deal too.
It happened with Joey Burrow's team when they made it to the state championship. They had to postpone the first couple games of basketball because they were still playing. And I'll call Bodie and buy a ticket for the basketball team.
Do that.
I will do that. And I will say that. It was great for the girls' soccer team here, and a lot of them play basketball. Girls' basketball is going to be very good at Jackson this year. Fun. And I think Coach Brett Jones, our coach, we play you guys second game of the year, and that's here at Jackson.
Well, your nephew Bodie is going to be a big factor.
Well,
in basketball.
we were joking about it. Somehow he's become the tallest Wolford in history.
I was going to say,
we're not sure how that's happened. We're not sure how that's happened.
Tall and Wolford never has gone hand in hand.
Somehow he's gone over a little bit over 6 foot.
So. And if he could talk his older brother into coming back out, he's got a spot.
Got a spot.
Too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know, but
that's funny.
It's great. It's awesome.
Well, you've got talent coming in the door.
Well, we do, but I guess we can wrap up because I know you guys have to get ready for your games tonight.
Well,
we got a few hours.
We're in pretty good shape.
I'm going to do a wedding here in a little bit, so
that puts his judge hat back on.
Yeah, put the judge hat, put the robe over, takes care of some of my wardrobe deficiencies that I have. So it's good.
So speaking of that, it's funny. I talked with several people that said that was like one of the biggest surprises of being a mayor, being a judge, or whatever. Are the weddings. Like it's not something that when you take that office that you think of right off the bat and you get to perform those. So
it's really a lot of fun. I probably do 100 a year. It's fun. And we have this bell in the lobby, which is a bicentennial bell, which we don't use for anything, but I decided it's become the wedding bell of Vinton County. So whenever we ring the bell.
How cute.
I say it's a gift I give to the guy because, do you hear? Well, yeah. I said, well, you won't after this. And so when your honey has a honeydew list, you can say, I'm sorry, I didn't do it because I couldn't hear.
That darn bell.
Yeah,
got
that's that bell. Yeah, exactly.
I just learned 2 words. Yes, dear.
Yes, 100%.
Those work.
And yes, you are right.
Yes.
Yes.
No question.
All of that. All right. Well, let's recap, guys. So Jackson playing at home tonight. You guys kind of have an opposite thing going on.
Right.
Benton County headed to Columbus
East.
Where is Columbus East exactly?
I'm not real sure. I think it's near Green Lawn Avenue.
Okay.
It is.
On the south side.
Gotcha. Hey, that's easier for us.
Yeah.
Right off Broad Street in that area, I think.
Okay.
I think in that area there. They, and like you said, they have had history there in basketball and football.
Yes.
They've had great athletes come through there.
Dwight Lamar and had a great team back in the day. Yeah,
they really have. So that'll be interesting. And in Vinton County, people get on the road and get up there and support.
Yes,
I don't think
absolutely.
There's 2 teams that travel better. Us in basketball and our football is getting there.
We're
and,
two
and
of
these
the
guys
best.
in football, I think they're two of the best around. Fans are awesome, both schools.
Yes.
Yep. And so get out, support these kids. They've worked really, really hard. And thanks, Dadas, for coming in. We appreciate
Always
it.
A pleasure. Always fun.
I've dubbed them the Dips, except for there's no pff today.
Okay. We'll get Poof back. Puff's been out on his for a couple of days, so he's just trying to get back in order there. But he will be on the air tonight.
Okay.
Brock Netter stepped up last week and covered for him. Did a great job. Did his stats. He became the second best stat man this side of the Mississippi.
Woohoo!
Never can become the first.
No,
I'm sorry,
never.
Brock. As good as you were, you'll never be the first.
All right. Well, congratulations for making the playoffs. Number one, both teams, and of course, Vinton County on the road tonight, Jackson at home, and we just want to send all the best vibes and for a healthy game for everybody, and coming out with a big W tonight. for
Thanks,
both.
Appreciate it.
Jennifer.
Thank you very much for having us.
Go
Thanks,
Ironmen.
guys.
Go
Yeah.
Vikes.
Go
It'll be
Vikes.
fun.
Go everybody.
Yes.
Kick some butt, man.
Oh, there you go.
Love that. All right. Well, speaking of football, and our good friend Ben Davis is here, so we'll have the guys head out. But let's talk a little bit about the weather, Dylan, if you don't mind for a second. And we'll put that weather forecast up because the football Friday night weather forecast is looking pretty darn good for this time of the year. And look at that. Some sunshine in the forecast today, highs of 66 degrees. So should be great football weather tonight. Tomorrow on Saturday, an amazing looking day. High of 68, lows of 45. And then on Sunday, pretty good temperatures. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, looking like that rain. Much needed rain, honestly, coming into the forecast. But that's all right. And we need it. So I am going to, let's see, we're going to get situated here. Ben is here. Let's get rid of this one, Dylan, if you don't mind. And then we'll give this one to Ben. That way we're, poor Dylan. He's here by himself today, so he's trying to get everything situated.
Hey. It's awesome that you can run the show, man.
He's got it under control. He's our little James.
That's awesome. Little James.
Little James. You doing all right over there, buddy? Everything good?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, awesome. Ben, welcome back.
How's it going?
It's great. So sad I couldn't make the event last night. Had to be in Cambridge, Ohio for Craft Brewers Association event. And
Hey, that's cool.
It was until we got lost coming home. And if you've never gotten lost coming home from Cambridge, Ohio on backcountry roads with gravel and whatnot, it is, and your phone goes out and it is not a good time.
Yeah, I've been up that way a bunch of times. It's not fun. It's not when you get lost for sure.
No, totally lost. Like freaking out lost.
Not good.
Yeah. Jen freaked out a little bit. Jamie, normally he's the freak out one and I'm the calm one. It did not happen that way last night. I was completely freaked out.
As long as you head southeast and don't cross the state line, you're
That's
all right.
what he kept saying. Listen, we're going south. We're fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. My phone is not working. Like our GPS isn't working. Like nothing's working. And he was like, we're going south. We're good.
It's okay.
So anyway, I didn't get to hang out last night. Homegrown Happy Hour kind of came to a conclusion last night.
Season finale.
Yeah, with Jake Dunn. And the good news was, while I was able to have cell phone service, I was able to listen
Oh, cool.
some on our way back.
Right on, yeah.
Until the phone went out.
Jake did a great job. I mean,
It was great.
He's a great musician. Each musician was wonderful, and
Yeah.
the first one was like, why did it have to be a stranger to me? But that was great because it really knocked all of the nervousness out of me for the rest of the thing. I got that out of the way the first episode. If I had known Wes prior, it might have gone a little bit better as far as my hosting.
Oh, I thought it went great.
It went fine, but I didn't feel super comfortable. And then I got it figured out by the end. But like I told them over on the radio, Jake and I literally lived together. So it was like sitting on the couch looking over and saying something to your buddy, That's how that went. But it was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think the cool thing about the Homegrown Happy Hour was the variety of guests that you had. And, I mean, you couldn't have had more different folks for the 4 weeks that it happened. And, you started off with Wes Ship, and Wes is I just love his kind of music. He sings a lot of Keith Whitley. It's near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
And he sings, a lot of stuff like that. And then we went on to Megan, and she is just such a doll, absolute doll.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, beautiful voice, and such a way with words. She is. I'm envious of her for sure. She can write songs like nobody else.
And kind of just a very unique style that she has.
Absolutely.
And then went, of course, to our good friend Morgan Washam, who, has, again, his own style.
He does. Man, and then he
so versatile.
He did a great set, amazing set. And then he added fire at the end by playing that When the Rainbow Ends or whatever song, that reggae song. man, and with the scat solo, he blew me away. I've watched that on repeat like 15 times. I guarantee it. I love it so much.
You know, it was funny because James said, we were talking about Morgan playing, and he said, I just watched Morgan play here locally, and he's like, he got into this like reggae vibe stuff. He's like, so I don't know what he's gonna play.
Yeah.
At Rowdy's, and I said, well, I'd say he'll play a little bit of everything because that's what he does.
That's my favorite thing about songwriting is that you don't know what a song's going to sound like when you're writing it.
Sure.
And if you don't want to control it, it's even better. And I'm sure that's probably what happened with that is he came up with some really cool words and it started to sound like that and it just fell that way. So I love it. I don't know.
Very good.
Pretty incredible.
I have to know, I have one question for you. Where did you get that shirt?
So the Facebook targeted ads have been targeting me pretty hard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I've been like, well, I wouldn't have had this money in my pocket if I didn't do this show. And this show, I have to have nice T-shirts or, shirts for the screen. So maybe I'll just order them. And so I did. I justified it.
I love it.
That's a sweet shirt, yeah.
That is a cool shirt.
Don't ask me what it means. I have no idea. It's probably some kind of a Satanist thing, and I am just walking around cursing the city. I don't know. But it's a cool-looking shirt.
It is a cool-looking shirt. I'll give you that. So, Homegrown Happy Hour, like I said. Oh, and Courtney was saying, so here are the T-shirts for it, and you can purchase those.
At home right now.
Yes. Right here.
Totalmedia.shop.
.shop. So yourtotalmedia.shop. These T-shirts can be purchased. They are awesome. This logo is just bad A. I don't know who did it.
James, I think.
Did James do it?
I don't know.
Or Brittany?
Maybe Brittany.
I actually have a bit of a story with that. So
Dylan knows.
Yeah, Rodney came to me and said, hey, do you know how to draw like a banjo in a house? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I went home. I worked really hard. And then James had that amazing photo after. I did nothing.
Yeah.
You're like, I worked so hard and it didn't happen.
Well, the back of those shirts is cool too. It's got all the artists on it, the sponsors. It's neat. I love it.
It's a really cool shirt.
Yeah, the cool thing is that's exactly what Rodney described, and James did it perfectly. Like
we were sitting in
he used an application. Maybe he paid an artist. I don't know, but he got the perfect.
We were sitting in the meeting. And
You're right.
Like, what are you thinking logo wise? Blah 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 blah. And Rodney said something about a cabin, and I'm like, maybe have some instruments out there. And then I was like, also, how about a pig?
There's a pig.
Yeah, I was the pig guy. It was me.
That was your contribution?
Yeah.
The pig.
The pig and the guitar and banjo thing, yeah. So to represent the pork that we will be feasting on each week.
Correct.
Yeah. It's a subtle hint, but it's there.
It was, yes. Absolutely. No, it's a fantastic shirt. You can pick those up here at Total Media, yourtotalmedia.shop. And they are $15, or if you're size 2X or up, they're $17.
Yeah, and the shipping is really affordable too. I love that they made that decision to do that.
So they can actually ship them to you. So if you're not here local.
Whether you're in California or here in the state, it's the same price shipping wise, and I love that because I have people buying them everywhere. So
awesome.
Yeah,
very good. And so Ben, what has this meant to you? This was kind of an idea that formed, and nobody ever thought it would come to fruition, and it did.
It did. It came together, and it happened. And I don't know. I like I said, I stuck around here because I wanted to do something to kind of enrich the culture if I could some way. And then I was just invited to help do this, and that works. That box is checked right now for me. So I've gotten texts from each of the artists. They were grateful for the experience as well. And Jake Dunn today said he's got a lingering inspiration, from last night. And
good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that's the other thing is we don't get to see each other very often because we're always out doing the thing, and it's very rare that our paths cross unless somebody says, well, what's going to go real well tonight? Ben Davis Jr. and Jake Dunn together.
Correct.
If they don't do that, then we never get to see each other. So
right.
It's just great when I get to see these other artists and hear their songs, and especially the new stuff they're working on. And that everybody brings what they want to push. They bring what they're wanting to promote, and it's just exciting to see that. I don't know. It means a lot to me. It means everything. It's given me a lot of purpose, not only for tomorrow, but like next Thursday,
Yeah.
And now I've got to wait till hopefully probably summer, May.
So that was going to
May.
be my next question.
Yeah.
Are we going to do this again?
I hope so. That's what our hopes and dreams are. Maybe after Mother's Day when the weather's pretty again. It's chilly out, so.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah, last night wasn't so bad,
Yeah.
but we had a nice heater that donated from Wagner's,
Yes.
kept everybody warm. Yeah, it'll be beautiful, and we learned a lot these 4 weeks. And I think by May we should be able to figure out how much different equipment we need and how to perfect the audio and get another person on board to control the soundboard and things and just make it even more beautiful.
Sure.
A better production for the listener and the viewer. I don't know. I'm just so excited, and I want to get so many more people out there. It's just gonna be a really good thing.
Do you have an idea of some of the artists? You don't have to say, but of any artists that you would love to have on the next series?
Yeah. So I've already. A lot of folks have reached out to me, but my short list, real quick, like I'll pick 5. David Childers is my hero, and he has played with me at Rowdy's, and he'll come do this in May, I think. David Childers, Darren Hackard, Joey Crabtree, Colby Likens, and I got to pick a 5th one. I want my friend Nolan Collins, and it doesn't mean I'm leaving anybody out. That's just as soon as it's 9:51 in the morning. That's what I can think of.
Those are the ones that you're thinking of.
Yeah, and those guys are on my short list. And Nathan has his list, and it's going to be fun. Just see what we bring to the table, because Nathan has a lot of good ideas for different artists, different genres, and things like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
And and that's what was I think so fun about this 4-night series was the difference of the artists.
Yeah. I mean, variety is what makes everything work better, and it draws different people each week. And
yes.
And somebody might find something that they didn't even know they like. You know how many people say, I don't listen to country, I hate country, but then they come and listen to me play, or listen to somebody who would be considered country. It's just a different flavor, and folks need to know that. You know? Yeah.
You got it. And what more fun to listen to than to listen to it live? And I would love to challenge somebody to find a live local radio show as good as, or just in general,
a live live music performance broadcast,
but as professional as this one came out. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Y'all killed it,
man. I just don't know how we did it, but we did it. It's Rodney. He's magic, I guess. And everybody came together. I mean, it was a lot of support from the community, of course. Y'all helped bring some money to the table and help us get some signs to tell people to be quiet, and
shut up.
A nice banner to hang up at Rowdy's. It's really nice. The T-shirts is going to be a great thing, because all that money goes right back into the show, and it's going to help us make improvements to next year. So
yeah, absolutely. This does not come cheap. I know it sounded really good, and y'all, I'm sure, enjoyed this, but there's a lot of equipment. There's a lot of folks involved, people coming out and supporting and, donating their time. I know Mikey took some awesome pictures. And she,
well, that's the thing.
Came out and just because it was fun.
Put it in perspective for everybody. We were operating on literally a 3-person crew plus a photographer. So 4 people.
Yes.
Put this show together and made it happen, as the technical side of it every week.
Yeah.
And then sending it back this way. But right there at the venue, 4 people is all we have touching anything. And it worked.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
It's almost like you don't want it to get too because it's so just quaint the way that it is. You don't want it to get too professional.
Exactly.
Because you lose something in there.
Yeah. The only thing that I think, if maybe I didn't have to control the soundboard, that's the only thing that would make it better for me, because I can't hear myself and adjust myself. So it's that
would make sense.
It's a weird thing. I can't, and so just having one person there to do that, and I think there's some interest with our friend Paul Pollard. I don't want to put him on the spot, but
Paulie,
he's
love
talked
you.
to me about wanting to be a part of this possibly. Hopefully we can make that work, because that if he sends somebody that he trusts to
Yeah.
run the soundboard, it would be beautiful.
It would be a wonderful thing. And Paul is so gracious and with his time and his talents as well. He's a good dude for sure. All right. Well, so Ben, you brought your guitar.
Yeah. You never know. So
You never know what is going to come out of this boy's mouth. You want to play us something?
yeah. Let's see what I got here.
Don't you make me cry today.
No, I shouldn't be able to.
I had a rough night, stuck out in the woods last night, so I don't need to be all emotional either. We doing all right over there, Dylan?
Yep, doing good.
All right, James is off today. Dylan hanging out Oh, what do you got going on over there, Dylan? He's got his Ironman esports board.
Esports.
So Dylan is our Ironman, like one of our esports. So the high school has an esports team.
That's awesome.
Did you know that?
Well,
this dude right here,
killing
it.
That's awesome. I'm the captain of the Minecraft team, the Smash team, and we also have a separate club called Esports Media, and I'm the director of that.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool.
So you're amongst royalty here.
Absolutely.
Didn't know that. Esports royalty.
Well, if you want, you can shoot me and kill me on a video game anytime you want to. Because I will not be any competition.
No, he said that he's going to bring in the system sometime and like set it up and like try to let me play it, and it's going to be like horrific because I've never played video games before. So other than Atari.
Yeah. I like Atari. I play Tetris at home a lot. That's like if I have some time to kill, turn on Tetris and just let it rip.
Yep, I gotcha. Do you have a song about Tetris?
No, I wish.
Well, how about some inspiration then?
Inspiration.
Inspiration from Tetris.
So I don't know what to play. I'll play this one. It's not gonna make you cry, I don't think. Have I ever played the Once in a While song here?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've played a lot of songs here now.
If it doesn't make me cry, we're okay.
The goal is to not repeat things.
Okay.
But
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You pretty much stay pretty peppy when you come in here, so.
Okay. Well, I'll play that.
Okay.
I'll tell you, this girl put $1 in my beard while I was playing a show and told me that she wanted to play a different song. I was singing, and she put $1 bill right into my beard.
When it was bigger?
It was a jukebox, yeah, and said, play a different song. I would like to hear something else. And then my feelings were hurt, and so I hurt her feelings in front of everybody in the bar. It was the Marietta Brewing Company, and I said, you are so disrespectful. Why did you do that to me? And you need to reevaluate this situation. I'm a human being, not a machine, and blah, 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 blah. And then she got feeling real bad, and she gave me more money, but not in my beard, and stood there and stared at me the rest of the show, smiling, because she liked the songs then. I don't know. But that was a long gig, and then I drove home to this futon I was sleeping on in Chillicothe, okay? 6 months I stayed on this futon, and they had a nice fire out front, and I would sit there and relax at nighttime, and my feelings were so hurt, and I was mad at music, and I sat down, and I still wanted to pick up my guitar, and so I did, and this song just came right out. It poured out of me.
There you go.
All it took was somebody being mean to me. Once in a while, I find myself on that old turnpike, the one that runs right by the house where we used to stay. Once in a while, I almost forget what it felt like to come home and watch as our love is fading away. Home by dinner, bed by 9, and you were out drinking some other man's wine. I gave you living best that I could, went on pretending that life was so good. don't know when we went wrong. I don't know where you believe you belong. You stuck around here for so long. I don't know why. You were an angel to me. You brought salvation, you see. Once in a while, I want to die, and I don't know why. Once in a while, your name finds its way to my lips, dear. But I chased it down with that old bottle, or I took it away. Once in a while, I think of the places we've been, dear. I go back to deal with the love you threw away. Drunk by dinner, stoned by 9, then you get home at dawn, half out of your mind. I gave you a living, best that I could. I went on pretending life was so good. I don't know when we went wrong. I don't know where you believe you belong. You stuck around here for so long. I don't know why. You were an angel to me. You brought salvation, you see. Once in a while, I want to die, and I don't know why. Once in a while, I want to die, and I don't know why.
Woo! Because that girl stuck the dollar in your beard.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
Mean, mean lady.
Yeah.
Did you talk to her after?
I don't know. I might have dated her. I have no idea who she even was. Who knows?
Hey, you came out with a good song.
did.
You should
She
thank her
never-
for it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that was not nice. Don't do that to people, but they might write a good song.
There you go. Well, Ben, thank you so much for stopping by. We greatly appreciate you. One of our favorite people of all time.
I love coming by.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I like talking to you, and you're always kind to me. So,
Right back at you.
everybody always compliments how they say how kind you are to me. Seriously. So, yeah, take that home with you today as your inspiration. Since my song was sad.
Maybe I'll write a song
Yeah,
about
there you
that.
go.
All right. Well, have a great weekend,
You too.
Ben. Where are you going to be playing
Yeah,
anywhere?
I'm at the Porch in Hillsboro tonight, which I guess is a really nice restaurant. My parents love it. Never been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go there and play for them tonight. And then tomorrow I'm playing somewhere in Hocking County for some folks, and that'll be fun too.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Just look it up. Follow Ben, and he'll let you know where he's going to be.
Absolutely.
All right. Great weekend. Halloween kind of weekend thing going on. Be safe. Be careful. Watch out for the kiddos if they're out trick-or-treating. And we'll be back here Monday. James and I have a little thing planned.
Awesome.
On Halloween, so it should be fun. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here on Monday. Bye.